And then the horror genre is actually especially good for short stories. I put up some examples here of some of my favorite short stories from comics, film, and books. I'm sure many of you are familiar with Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark that a lot of us read as kids, and some of those stories still stay with you decades later. I love Tales from the Crypt and Creepshow. Similarly, Twilight Zone does short storytelling very well, right? Where there's a short one episode, there's some sort of twist that usually you're not expecting, and it just leaves you like amazed and shocked and horrified at the end. And then Cabinet of Curiosities, I think it was on Netflix, and it featured short horror stories pulled mainly from fiction, and that was also, I thought, pretty well done. Um, so short stories, they have high stakes, they have visceral reactions in the horror genre. They often explore deep societal fears and psychological stress in a way that's cathartic. And when you learn to master short horror stories, you're going to understand tension and timing and how to keep readers hooked and create a story that resonates long after the first line. And then quickly, why horror? Like, why do people like horror? And I get asked this a lot. And for me personally, I did not consider myself a horror writer for a very long time, even though I was actually writing horror. And the reason is I don't like slashers, I don't like gore, I'm a pretty anxious person. But horror is a spectrum, right? There is so much under the umbrella of horror. Um, and what people enjoy in the horror world will differ completely. And there have been studies showing, by age, gender, how empathetic somebody is can make them more stressed out with horror, how much they enjoy an adrenaline rush. So people come to horror for a lot of different reasons. And some of them are listed here, right? Stimulation, you feel excited, get an adrenaline rush if you're watching a horror movie and it's super creepy. For me, I like the second one, learning like any kind of apocalypse story is almost like a survival instruction manual or like how to deal with serial killers, right? You kind of watch it and you're like, oh, I wouldn't do that, or, don't separate alone in a haunted house kind of thing. A lot of people feel catharsis right after horror. You've survived. Like maybe the main character didn't, but you as the viewer, you survived. Horror can be a great way to process, right? Fears, traumas. As a kid, I had really severe arachnophobia. I was very afraid of spiders. So what movie did I watch all the time? Arachnophobia, a movie about spiders. Like I was obsessed with it. Um, and then lastly, enjoyment. Horror can be just fun, right? Around campfire, telling horror stories, going to a horror movie. There's some enjoyment in the bonding there. And I love this quote from John Carpenter, who's the creator of The Thing, the movie. Horror is a universal language. We're all afraid. We're born afraid. We're all afraid of things, death, disfigurement, loss of a loved one. So horror is very fundamental. Fear is very fundamental to all of us, right?